Hey guys, welcome to a bonus video. This one wasn't going to happen, but now it is because I felt really bad about the way we ended the last video. It wasn't great, and I do apologize. Today we're going to go for a bit of a drive. I'm going to take you guys with me, get a bit of a first reaction, and see how we go. I'm going to go put some fuel in this thing. We're going to go take it for a drive. I'm going to get an impression of what it's actually like to drive, because I've not done anything rather than drive it around the block, which has been second gear or like just into third gear. So I want to take it for a good little drive. Luckily I live in an area where it's not too bad to do that. I can take it for a bit of a drive which isn't too far away, but it's got some decent roads to sort of just give it a good test and get up through the gears and all that sort of gear. So I want to do that, and we'll see how it goes, see how it performs. I don't expect a lot out of it. It's not an absolute rocket ship, but it is just a nice car to drive. So I'm going to take it for a good little drive, get it all nice and happy, and give you an impression. So let's get into it. The one thing I've got to start with, actually, let's turn the radio off. Bye-bye. Radio's off. So the one thing I've got to start with is the seating position in this car is very abnormal to me. I've spent a lot of time sitting up. I sit more upright in cars, and it's what I'm used to. In this, I spend a lot of time kind of laying back. I don't know how well you can see in the corner here, but the seat belt, it's still even behind my shoulders, and I am quite laid back. I'm not used to that as well as kind of like if I stretch my foot out and push the clutch, I feel like I'm laying down. I honestly feel like I'm laying down, and I don't have a lot of headroom. I've got, like, you guys probably can't see it that well, but that is my hand on the roof. So I've got a fist above my head, which is, I guess, and that's if I'm doing that. I got less than that. I got less than that if I'm just sitting normally. That's not a lot of room, and I'm not extremely tall. I'm 5'11", so I'm not extremely tall, and I don't have a lot of headroom. It's very odd. If I was to actually sit up, my head would be into the roof, and my hat, which I always wear a hat, I've always got a hat, would actually be into the sun visor. So my head, if I was to sit up a little more upright, I'd look like a meerkat, I think. But it's just one of those things. It's one thing that I instantly noticed when I got into drive the car, was how laid back it is, which is probably great. I don't know. I've always sat a little more upright. I've always driven vans for work and things like that. The cars that I drive, I've normally driven, you've got a lot more headroom. So these are obviously lower to start with. It's not that it's a deal breaker, it's just a different thing for myself. So take that with a grain of salt. I don't know what your personal preferences are when driving a car, how you sit, but yeah, so it's just a general observation. I don't know if I like it, I don't know if I hate it. We'll see what happens. We'll take it for this drive and see what goes on. So let's get out of here and give it a look. One thing I should note as well is we talked about the tint. You can see the rear window. If I kind of do that, you can see that there's not a lot that you can actually see. Like it's quite, the visibility is quite poor. So that is one thing that will happen in the next video. So let's go for a drive and see how we go. Hopefully I don't run out of fuel before we get to the survey. One thing you guys might notice is I'm always looking here, because that's where my screen is and the camera's actually there. So that's one thing I'm trying to do, is look more at the camera. So I'm seeing you guys, I'm talking to you, right? Rather than over here where I'm not actually talking to you. So with that said, let's go for a drive. I wind my window down. Very jumpy clutch at the moment. I don't know what just happened there. So the first thing we'll notice a lot is that I've got to ride the clutch out a bit. It just started shuddering. I'm going to wind the window up because that wind noise would be terrible. So that was a fail. But so the clutch has started shuddering. I have to ride it out a little bit more, which is not a real issue, I guess. The road I'm on, you might sort of hear my voice sort of wavering. The road I'm on in my area is quite rough. You'll see the camera bouncing and all sorts, right? The road's quite rough, so it'll be a good test. At the moment, the suspension is not horrible. I'm pretty happy with the way it kind of handles, but once I put the coilovers in and all that sort of gear, we'll see how we go. I do want to set them as soft as possible. Well, not as soft as possible, but soft. I still want like an engaging feel when I drive the car, but I don't want to be shaken all over the place. So far my main issues are just the clutch. Hopefully it just needs to warm up a little, I don't know. And the shifter feels very odd. Okay, I didn't get any shudder then, so maybe it was just me. Maybe it was just me being hopeless, I don't know. The gear shifter doesn't feel extremely engaging. I don't know if that's a front wheel drive thing, I don't know if it's a bush thing, I don't know if it's, because of all the linkages and all that sort of gear. It's not extremely engaging. Again, not a deal breaker, it might be bushes. This car is over 20 years old. It's almost 26 years old now, so it's probably not unrealistic to think that these are the original bushes and they need to be changed, which is fine. So it's something to look at in future. At the moment I'm in 4th gear, just happily cruising along. It shifts through the gears nicely. Again, it just doesn't feel super engaging. Like it's not, I don't even know how to put it, but it's not notchy, like it doesn't have that positive input or that positive feedback when you put it into gear. Like you just kind of, I guess it's there sort of thing. So again, 26-year-old bushes potentially, so that could be the issue. I'm not gonna, I don't know where I'm going with that, but anyway, yeah, I'm not going to sort of hold that against it. It's just an observation again. I guess the whole reaction to this drive is just observations.
Thanks, Captain Obvious. I was on a totally different track.
Stereo seems to work okay at times. It does have a sub, it does have an amp. A little bit of a shudder there. It does have a sub, it does have an amp. So the amp kind of takes away from the rest of the speakers, I feel like the actual speakers are just wired to the head unit, where the sub itself is wired to the amp. I'll check all that out and see what the go is, which is fine. I mean, generally a sub should have its own amp, so that's fine, but let's get some aircon going. Let's get some air conditioning going. Air conditioning feels great instantly is perfect. I just put it on 1 and it feels amazing. I can. All the controls seem fine. I'm going to try and get it up to the window. So it's very humid today, so fogging up the window is a thing just by being in the car. So we'll get it up to the window. No, that makes it hot, so let's not do that. Let's press that button. There we go. There we go. I'm working out the buttons, it's fine. So far so good. I don't know if it's the roads, but it tends to want to try and pull a bit. That's fine. Well, it's not fine, but I'll fix that when I take it in for new tyres potentially. I will go over the tyres at a later date because they are 9 years old. So I'm gonna show you how you guys can tell how old your tyres are. Now, first things first, what side is my fuel filler on? I think it's on my side. I have no idea. Sounds like it's on the passenger side, so we'll see how we go. I didn't look. Rookie error. It's one of the first things I always do is go, I'm going to look and see where the fuel filler's at, and I didn't. So, yeah, it is what it is. Alright, we're here. We'll do some fuel.
A few moments later.
Mission successful. That was a full tank of fuel. $1.88 a litre, guys. That's great. For you guys, if anyone's watching in America, bitching about your $4 a gallon, a litre, that's actually 4 litres, less than 4 litres per gallon. We're paying almost $2 a litre. You can do the math, I'm sure. See that? I've got to adjust my head because these things, I don't know. I'd have to just, when I move, I've got to crank my neck.
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it.
Oh, I am enjoying this scene.
Get on with it.
Let's go for a drive. She's full. Tank of fuel, full tank of fuel, 95. Let's go. So it shifts through the gears nicely. I haven't been into fifth yet. I haven't been into fifth gear at all. It shifts gears nicely. Like I said, I think it's just a shift of feel through bushes and all that sort of gear. So I'm not too upset about that. It's going to happen. Things like that are going to need to be replaced. So its power delivery is not terrible. It's okay. Again, a 26-year-old car. It has 206,000 kilometres on it. It's not terrible. I like the power delivery. It seems to sort of want to become a lot livelier up around the 5 grand mark, up around 5,000 RPM. So when we get a bit of open road, at the moment we're still in a kind of a suburban area. When I get a bit of open road and can get a bit more speed up, I'll give it a good bootful or a good thongin, and we'll see how it goes. I was a little upset, guys, when I went into the servo. I wanted to get a bottle of Pepsi Max. I don't know about you guys. I'm a Pepsi guy. I like Pepsi Max better than Coke no sugar. You guys tell me, what do you think? Your Coke, your Pepsi? Let me know. Oh, but I was very upset. There's no Pepsi Max, so I had to get Coke no sugar. First world problems, guys. First world problems. Cheers to that. I got a little flippy out cup holder that is in a really bad position to hold bottles, so that's a no-go. We'll just put that away. What do we got in the ashtray? Oh, okay. That's different. You push a little button and it drops down. A cigarette lighter there, does it work? We'll see. I pushed it in. All the lights work. I've been through all that sort of stuff. I only had to change the cigarette lighter works. I don't know if you can see the smoke coming off of that, but the cigarette lighter works, so that's cool. I've been through all the lights. I only had to change two globes, a H4 for the headlight and one of the Parkers. They were both on the same side, on the driver's side. I changed the lot though. I changed both headlights and both of the Parkers. All the other lights are perfect. So, alright, we've just hit a good speed zone. We hit a 90k zone, so open it up a little bit, just in third, open it up. And it drives really well. The tyres seem okay. Again, these roads aren't really pushing the limits of the car, I guess, or the tyres, but being 9 years old, I'm a little bit worried about them. They're probably the one thing that I'm worried about not passing rego is because the tyres are quite old. They seem okay, but we'll see. I am taking it to get regoed at a wheel and tyre place, so they might knock it back on tyres so that they can sell a set of tyres. They're not that kind of people, but who knows, hey? I'm impressed. It goes pretty good. You guys might not have seen or heard, but that was about $6,500 in third gear. We're doing a little bit over the speed limit. We'll say a little bit, okay? Again, these are nice open roads. Good sweeping turns as well. So nothing unsuspecting. You can see well into the future. You can see well ahead of yourself. So it's a pretty good road to sort of give it a good run on. But in saying that, I don't want to get too far. So we might find the next little spot to turn around and do that, and give it a good run home. But so far, I'm impressed. I can see what people. Why these are such a renowned car, I guess. So we're in a little bit of a not rocky, but a little bit of a bumpy section. Oh, there we go. I wasn't expecting that to come up. The clutch seems to have sort of settled down. Maybe it was just cold. It was just shuddering because it was cold. It's warmed up a bit now, and it's pretty good. The one thing I find though is I don't know if it's a Civic thing or it's just a thing with these motors. I don't know if they idle low. It kind of looks like it idles low, and I feel like I'm going to stall out unless I put a little bit of like a fair hit of revs on before as I'm pulling the clutch out, even with the sort of slippy clutch. All right, that was up to 7,000 RPM. I was up to that was up to $7,000 in third. Wow. They're a pretty nifty little motor. No rocket ship by any means, but they get up and boogie. They do boogie a little bit. So not unhappy. I think the overlap between first to second wasn't overwhelming. I expected a little bit more pull, and the pull wasn't really there until it sort of got up to around 4. But again, I'm not unhappy. This is a good little car. Drives well, handles well. Well, battery died. Sitting inside now. To wrap up everything, I'm super happy with the way the car drives. There's a few little things that I'd like to fix, but they're not major. They're nothing they're nothing that need to be a huge priority at the moment. It drives really well. It handles really well. It does need a bit of a wheel alignment, but I'll get that done after the coilovers are in. So that's not an issue. I'm going to need to do that anyway. So I'll wait till I absolutely need to do it rather than doing it twice. So overall, very happy with how it drives. The brakes still have a little bit of an issue, and it's just because it's been sitting around for a long time. I've thought that I could just clean the rotors off with the brake pads because they've been sitting around a while. The rotors rust up. I figured the brake pads could do the trick, but I think it's just put all the rust into the brake pads now, and they make a noise. They make a very audible noise just when you're driving. So I think it might just be time to change pads, which is fine, I guess. A pair of set of sacrificial pads aren't an issue. At least now I'll get brand new pads, and it should all be good. So we'll do that after Blue Slip, after Rego, and it should be a good thing. From there, there's a lot of styling cues I want to do, and I'll take you through them. I think I might have touched on it earlier, but I'll take you through everything I want to do. I think it's going to be a cool little thing once it's finished, and just give it a cool little look. So thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Sorry this one cut short again. It seems to be a theme at the moment. I want to get out of that, I promise. So until next time, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.